7 minutes.
Deputy Presiding Officer, it is a real honour for me to open this debate commemorating the 70th anniversary of the accession to the throne of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, an occasion we celebrated together as a nation on Sunday, the 6th of February. For the past 70 years, Her Majesty has been the head of state of our United Kingdom, of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Crown dependencies and British Overseas Territories, and the head of the Commonwealth. Throughout her reign, she has continuously displayed the true virtues of leadership, duty, sacrifice and service. And while Sunday was a day of national celebration, for Her Majesty it would have been a day of mixed emotions, as it also marked the 70th anniversary of the passing of her father, King George VI. The then Princess Elizabeth was in Kenya with her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, when her father suddenly passed away. The next day, the now Queen Elizabeth landed in London and was greeted by the first of 14 Prime Ministers to serve under her, Sir Winston Churchill. According to the historian Dr. Kate Williams, Sir Winston Churchill initially thought that the Queen was too young and inexperienced to be head of state, with his saying, "She's just a child." This is despite Her Majesty already being the mother of 2 children. Through paying attention to detail, hard work, dedication and professionalism, Her Majesty ensured that Sir Winston Churchill would have to change his mind, and he did. During her 70-year reign, Her Majesty has shown us that the best virtues of leadership are service and selflessness. True leaders prioritise the cause they are serving over personal interests. Her Majesty's dedication to uphold the national interest can be seen in her behaviour during the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly after the death of her late husband of over 70 years. Last month, various publications noted that Downing Street had offered Her Majesty an exemption to the strict rules that were in place for funerals. According to these reports, Her Majesty declined, saying that not only was this exemption unfair for everyone else in the country that had lost a loved one during the pandemic, but she wanted to set an example for the nation. Even at one of the most difficult and painful moments in her life, Her Majesty put the national interest first and showed true leadership, not through words, but through action. The spirit with which Her Majesty undertakes her duties as sovereign can be summed up with the letter that she published to mark the beginning of her Platinum Jubilee. The focus of the letter was about the future of the Crown, asking the British people to give her son, the Duke of Rothesay, our full support when he becomes king. The letter also reflects on the importance of partnership, with Her Majesty reflecting on the loving support the Duke of Edinburgh gave her during their marriage. It was on this reflection that Her Majesty announced that she would like her daughter-in-law, the Duchess of Rothesay, to become Queen Consort when Prince Charles becomes king. Her Majesty turned an occasion about her into a moment to support others and ease succession to the throne, highlighting the selflessness which has been a core characteristic of Her Majesty's reign. Her Majesty signed off her Platinum Jubilee letter with the words, "Your servant." This says it all. In recent decades, leadership has often been associated with assertiveness, popularity and calculation. Her Majesty reminds us that this definition is false. Service is at the heart of leadership, and it is this service which allows Her Majesty to unite our country in a way that no politician ever can. During the COVID-19 pandemic, despite thousands of speeches given by numerous politicians, the speech that the British people remember was the one given to us by Her Majesty. In her speech, Her Majesty focused on unity, saying that if we remain united and resolute, then we will overcome it. Her Majesty also reflected on the virtues that characterise Britain: self-discipline, a quiet, good-humoured resolve, and fellow feeling. Every politician in our United Kingdom, regardless of political party, has a responsibility to uphold these virtues. One of my favourite quotes from King George VI is, "The highest of distinction is service to others." And over the past 70 years, Her Majesty has shown she is the perfect example of her father's words. Some argue that the concept of monarchy is antiquated, but Her Majesty has shown that it is needed more than ever. With the loving support of her late husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, Her Majesty has modernised the royal family, whilst upholding the values that we are proud of as a country: duty, sacrifice and service. And in these times of division, nobody can unite our country the way that Her Majesty does. Talk surrounding the royal family is often portrayed as the person is cast aside for the interests of the crown. Her Majesty the Queen turns this narrative on its head. It is because of the personal qualities of Her Majesty the Queen, the qualities of duty, sacrifice and service, that the Crown prospers today and will continue to prosper in the future. A Platinum Jubilee is a once-in-a-lifetime event. In the months ahead, may people across Scotland and across our United Kingdom celebrate it accordingly, remembering the personal service of our remarkable monarch. God save the Queen.
Thank you.